Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue is a good game, and that's not just the neigh-stalgia talking. 8-bit joystick. Women have been playing video games for as long as video games have been around. However, games made specifically for girls and young women were less of a priority at times, and that's a shame. This is the first in a series of videos on good retro games that were designed for girls and are also a ton of fun. This video series is for people who enjoy retro video games of all genders: cis women, trans women, non-binary folks, trans dudes, and cis dudes with full-on Portland-class beards that are secure enough with their masculinity enough to enjoy some awesome retro video games. Now, on to the game. Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue. This is actually a pretty well put together, super cozy, chill game that not a lot of people know about, made by the developers of the Xbox free Burger King games. Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue is a third-person adventure game starring Barbie, who is so serious about horses that the word horse is in the game's title twice. In this installment of the Barbie cinematic universe, our hero Barbie and her girlfriends arrive at Silver Valley Stables to kick back and gal-pal it up at the horse ranch resort, only to find that a storm has set all the horses and foals loose, and they have run off into the surrounding forests, mountains, and coastal areas. Holy horsecapades, Barbie! It's up to Barbie and her lady friends to find them and bring them back safely. You play as Barbie as she embarks on horseback through 10 different trail levels that have you exploring, crossing rivers, dodging branches, and rolling logs. In her horse-saving quest, Barbie will encounter various wild animals such as bears, porcupines, and skunks, which will knock her down and reset your progress slightly, but not terribly much. You don't lose a life because Barbie is timeless. Nothing can stop her. God, I really hope there are honey badgers in this game. There is an average of 3 foals plus 1 horse that can be found in each level. There are also a ton of coins to collect, environmental puzzles, and items that can unlock new outfits. So you have to rescue these foals, and you see them in precarious situations such as on top of things, and it begs the question, how the heck did they get up there? Did they climb up there themselves? But alas, video game logic, so don't ask too many questions. This game is obviously a collect-a-thon where you go around and collect icons. I'm actually getting some major Spyro the Dragon vibes from it, and I like it. That is what the gameplay loop is like. You explore a trail and find lost foals and horses. Then you take them back and wash them off. More like the main gameplay loop, if you get my drift. On the courses, you find carrot icons and give them to the horses to raise the friendship meter that determines how much the horse you are riding likes you. You can pet them and give them compliments, but it is the carrots that really move the meter. I too like to eat and can totally relate, horse. Then, back at the horse ranch, you need to clean the horses that you rescued. Apparently, the horse cleaning mechanic is timed, and you have a minute to clean the horse and dip the brush sponge in the soapy water, but you're only cleaning one side of the horse, so it's just the dirty side. And my question is, who shovels all this manure? Let me tell you about horses. There are a lot of manure. I was really hoping that there were some manure shoveling minigames, but alas, I could not find one. The graphics are actually quite good for a PlayStation 2 game. There are some really decent looking interactive horse animations with some inverse kinematic physics for leading the horses around. I mean, the developers realize that you're getting this game for some horses, so they better deliver on the horses. And by Lord, the horses look like horses. They behave like horses and have decent horse animation, and that's impressive. And racing game developers know that you have to get the car driving right. So, they know for making a game called Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue, they need to get the horse riding right, and they do. There are horse races against other horsebound girls, and despite my best efforts, I was unable to figure out how to drift around corners Initial D style. I'm not saying that Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue was a key influence on The Last of Us, but I'm not saying that it wasn't. Naughty Dog actually started development on The Last of Us 6 years after Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue was showing game developers that they were not horsing around when it came to interactive animated horses. The environment looks sort of like the Windows XP desktop with these green hills and everything. Everything's limited to a limited path, but that's fine. It's PlayStation 2, so they can't do real scenic vistas. Besides the loading at the start of the stables, there's surprisingly not a lot of loading time once you're actually playing the game. The branching paths hide the data loading off the disc. The controls are easy to learn. You start off with some mandatory tutorials at the beginning to teach you how to do it. By God, that old lady who runs the ranch is going to make sure that you complete the tutorials before you leave her stables. The physics engine mostly worked, except we saw some actual janky physics where Barbie walked through the bridge and wasn't quite 100% up on a ledge, so she couldn't take like a 1-foot step to get on the top. We also had to use the whistle command to move a horse that was blocking our descent from a ladder. Still, I thought it was pretty cool that you could save at any point. So, Barbie has to collect all these silver coins, and I guess if you get all of them, you unlock the Chaos Emeralds or something. No, not really. It would be cool, but it's probably just an outfit or something that you unlock. Barbie has an auto-collect magical power, so she just has to get close to the things that she's trying to pick up, and they would just magically go towards Barbie. It must be part of her Barbie magic, because Barbie is magic. It's very convenient that the items that you have to get, such as apples and sugar lumps, are magically floating and spinning. Also, Barbie is the queen of context-sensitive menu interfaces. You can definitely see the influence of Shenmue on Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue. Barbie can get off her horse and can scale walls, hang from the ceiling, and do some serious Tomb Raider Lara Croft stuff. Barbie can actually jump off some high ledges without getting hurt. Apparently, she's a lot sturdier than Lara Croft. Luckily, the game developers thought ahead enough to put invisible safety barriers on the edge of everything. But Barbie and her horse can actually come pretty close to some death-inducing cliffs. If this game ever gets a modern remake, I really hope that it has a permanent death mode added with the option to turn off the safety features. Speaking of danger, apparently you need to duck when you are riding your horse under low-hanging branches, and Barbie will just sort of chipperly laugh it off, saying, "Oh, better duck next time."
Better duck next time.
But luckily, she didn't suffer a traumatic brain injury from the fall. So, for this video, I recruited my gal pal Lori to come over and play this game for me. Not only is she a certified member of the female gender, but she has played some video games, so it was a pretty good test of what this game would be like for someone who has not played it before. She did well in playing the game, except for all those times that she forgot to duck and ran straight into a log at full stride. Barbie hitting her head on the overhead branches does not get old. One of the interesting things is that the audio seemed to be crapping out when playing with a Hyperkin PS2 HDMI adapter. Apparently, Barbie talks to herself and lets the player know what they should be doing. Unfortunately, since the audio was cutting out, we missed part of the instructions and had to figure it out ourselves. I had to change the connections and swapped out my PS2s, and the audio glitches happened on both systems, but then went away. I'm a little disappointed that they have so many audio cues, but they don't have the option to have subtitles. Horses in plastic. It's fantastic. So, despite the game being called Barbie Horse Adventures, the Barbie aspect of the game is actually not that strong of a flavor. This game would totally work without the Barbie license. I wonder if they got the same voice actress who voiced Barbie in other productions of the era, and if this game fits into the Barbie canon. This is a very cozy, relaxing game. It's not the most intellectually complicated game, and it's not trying to be. It is comfort food, or in the context of Barbie, more like the pumpkin spice latte of video games. By the way, I want to go on record that ginger, nutmeg, and cinnamon are freaking tasty, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with enjoying the combination of them. It is a quintessential American flavor to enjoy in your coffee and in your pies. This game was made by developers that clearly cared about the quality of the game that they were making. They knew that for some girls that played it, it was going to be their favorite game, and so they actually put in some decent effort, and it shows. Get yourself a copy of Barbie Horse Adventures Wild Horse Rescue. Giddy up and play it. Next week, OMG, there are 73 unreleased NES games on this cartridge. My kitty Guy here wanted to let you know that we make awesome videos like this each week, so make sure that you are subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss them. This is 8-Bit Joystick. Stay awesome. Play retro. And you're a kitty cat. Yes, you are.